It's the book of Alpha running, man, homie. Read it or weep. Hey, what's poppin', YouTube? It's your man, Dr. BOA, aka Book of Alpha running me. There are 5 men who should avoid women. Not because women are above them or because women are the prize. Simply because they are not in any particular situation where they should have time or energy to focus on women. To find out if you're one of these men and you need to refocus your efforts and energy, which will lead to you elevating your self-awareness to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, when I say these men should avoid women, I'm not saying that these men should go the rest of their lives in monk mode. I'm saying that right now, in the current circumstances in these men's lives, they do not need to be focusing on women. They do not have the time. And frankly, they do not deserve to have that type of freedom because they have too many things they need to work on in their lives. So let's find out. The first man who should avoid women is an emotionally fragile man. If you're an emotionally fragile man, you're going to end up in a relationship with a woman who really doesn't want to be with you like that. That's just what happens to emotionally fragile men. A woman is never going to turn down you catering to her. A woman is never going to turn down you whining and dining her. And a lot of times, in the majority of situations, a woman won't turn down a proposal if you drop down to one knee and offer her a ring. She's going to look at it, she's going to capitalize on it, and she's going to say, you know what? Yes. Okay, yes, guy. I will marry you, even if she doesn't want to, because now you've offered her the opportunity to be queen for a day in a wedding setting. Women don't turn things like that down. Women aren't prepared to turn things like that down. It brings them too much joy. It gives them too much control. It pedestalizes them too much. So if you're an emotionally fragile man and you meet a woman, immediately you're going to be trying to get some emotional attachment to that woman. You're going to be trying to develop some type of emotional connection so she can feed you what you need emotionally. And as long as you're in that state of mind, you should never be dealing with women because that's just what's going to happen to you. And knowing deep down inside that that's not what you want, you should avoid that at all costs. You are a man who needs to go on monk mode. You need to dig into yourself and find out who you are and find out what it takes to overcome this emotional fragility that you have. If it's even possible to overcome, you could be a man who's simply gonna have to work a long time and travel a long, tedious path to restore your emotional strength, your emotional steadiness, for lack of a better way to put it. The second man who should avoid women altogether is the married man. If you're a married man and you have told your wife that it is going to be you and her, and you have sworn your loyalty to her, and you have sworn monogamy to her, then you must honor that vow. You must honor the vow you've given that woman to be monogamous with her. We're talking about manhood here. If you're a man and you make a woman a promise, then you need to honor that promise. Just like if you make a man a guarantee, you need to honor that guarantee. Especially due to the fact that now you've come to a contractual agreement, a legally binding agreement under law to be this to this woman. And we all know how it ends if you don't. We all know that hell have no fury like a woman scorned. But let me add something to that. I'm going to add a caveat to that. Hell have no fury like a woman scorned who's got you by the balls in a marriage agreement. You must believe what I'm telling you, brothers, because I wouldn't make this up to you. I simply wouldn't make this up. And then let me add one more thing, because I know someone's going to come and say, well, Dr. BOA, what if I'm not legally married? See, you're talking about that legal marriage, but I'm not legally married. Ah, ha, ha. That doesn't cover me. I should get all the women I want. No, brother. I'm talking about the legal ramifications for a man who's legally married. I'm talking about the spiritual ramifications for a man who has sat and openly lied to a woman and told her that he was going to be monogamous with her. First of all, it shows how weak you are if you had to do that in order to keep a woman in your mind, because you probably didn't have to do that to keep the woman. But in your mind, you did. And so you did that. You told the woman that lie in order to keep her on your team. Secondly, doesn't it have some value to be a man of your word? Doesn't it have some value to do what you're going to say and say what you're going to do? I think it does. And that is why I say the married man, under these circumstances that I just defined, the married man should not be worried about dealing with other women. He should avoid women altogether, except for that woman he's sworn himself to. Now, the next man who should avoid women at all costs, it's the fat man. If you are overweight, if you are obese, you should not be thinking about women in a state of obesity. Brother, you are dying. You are dying every day. We're all dying every day, but you are killing yourself every day. There's a difference. Every day we all get closer to death. If you're going to die of old age, every day you're a day closer to it. But if you're obese and out of shape and unfit and unhealthy and unwell, then you are killing yourself. Any man who is in a suicidal state where he's killing himself, even if he's killing himself slowly with food and lack of movement, then guess what? That man is not in a state of mind to be dealing with a woman. That man has a mental instability. You are mentally incapacitated to be able to deal with a woman, so you should avoid that, because any man who is killing himself has a greater potential to kill a woman as well. Those of us who are suicidal are more likely to be homicidal, because killing is killing. And if you kill yourself, you're damn sure kill someone else. So you should be focusing on getting in the gym, getting fit, getting lean, eating clean, resting, drinking water, getting your micronutrients, adjusting your macronutrients if you want to. But if you are an obese man, you don't have time to think about a woman. And frankly, if you're an obese man, you do not deserve any woman that anyone would want. An obese man does not deserve a very beautiful, attractive, fit woman. Now, that's one thing that I think we could all agree on, no matter what you represent. If you represent alpha, if you represent hell, if you represent beta, if you represent select, if you represent dumb, if you represent, just powerful men, if you represent millionaire, if you whatever you represent, you can agree that a man who does not take care of himself does not deserve to live the same life as a man who does. A lazy man does not deserve to live the same quality of life that a hustler does, right? It's the same thing. The fourth man who does not deserve a woman or need to even think about women, and in all actuality needs to avoid women at all costs, is a down low man. If you're down low, living a down low lifestyle, man, you're actively engaged with intimacy with men, you should not be touching our women. You should not be going into our women. You should not be becoming intimately involved with our women unless you are honest up front and you tell a woman this. And she says, well, okay, I'm willing to take the chance. Or maybe she wants to get into some type of, a roundabout menage. Who knows what she wants? What I am telling you is, if that's your lifestyle, then you need to keep it 100 and don't be out here using these women as a facade in order to convince the world that you're not who you are. Embrace who you are as a man. And do that by avoiding these women. Avoid our women, man. Avoid touching our women. Avoid treating our women as if you don't live that lifestyle and convincing her that you want to be with her and that you're 100% heterosexual. If you're not, you owe it to people to keep it a buck with them. But in the meantime, even if you're not going to keep it a buck, then you should be avoiding women. No down low man should be intimately engaging with women without letting them know your lifestyle and giving them the option to say, well, okay, I'm going to deal with you anyway. Now, I know this is going to be a tough pill to swallow, and this is probably going to get a lot of dislikes on this video, but the truth that I have been sharing here recently has a tendency to do that. But the truth is what we'll give. And now the last and final man on this list who shouldn't even be thinking about women. And honestly, if you're this last man, you shouldn't even be able to get aroused. Like nothing should arouse you. You should be thinking, and can you remember the last time that you woke up aroused or that you got aroused about anything? You shouldn't even be able to focus on pleasure or fun or doing anything. As a matter of fact, you should be downright miserable. The last and final man on this list who should avoid women is a broke man. If you're broke, I don't even know how you focus on women. I don't even know how you do anything that doesn't involve changing your financial plight. I don't know how you can sleep at night. When I was broke, I couldn't sleep, man. I couldn't think straight. Unless I was thinking about trying to figure out a way to change my financial plight. All of my thoughts were consumed with that. So I don't know how you want to hang out and party and club and go meet women and waste time on the phone talking to women and trying to wine and dine women, even though you're broke, robbing Peter to pay Paul so you can take a broad to the mall, doing things like that, man. I have no idea how a man who is broke can focus on those things, because I am telling you the truth about me, myself, and I. If my money ain't right, I can't focus on women, bro. I just can't. Not because I feel like they're above me when I'm broke. It's just the fact that I don't feel like a man if I am not on top of my finances, man. The power that comes with being on top of your finances is something that every man should crave. Every man should be addicted to it, which means that if you are not in that state, you should really feel some kind of way about your life. You understand what I'm saying? You should really feel some kind of way about your life. Because if you're broke, you probably don't have anywhere fly to live. You're probably not driving anything fly. Now, by fly, I don't mean expensive. I mean nice. I mean something that has value, that keeps its value. Not something that was expensive, but something that actually has value. If you're broke, you don't have that. Because a lot of times broke men are out here trying to buy things that cost a lot to prove that they're not broke. And just that level of confusion in itself is the perfect example of why a man who is broke shouldn't be focusing on women. So to recap, the 5 men who should avoid women. The emotionally fragile man, because he's going to end up in a relationship with a woman who doesn't really like him because he's chasing emotional validation. The married man, because he is sworn to a woman that it's just going to be her and him. And when you have that energy in your life and then you go against it by lying and deceiving and cheating on a woman you swore or not monogamy to, it brings an evil energy to your life that's going to affect your life in a tremendous manner. And you should not even bring another woman into that energy. And secondly, you should just be a man of your word. Regardless if you give your word to a man or a woman, you should be a man of that word. You should honor that word. The third man is a fat man. If you're out of shape, overweight, unhealthy, unwell, women should be the last thing on your mind, bro. You're going to mess around and have a heart attack, man. Try and jump up and down on a woman, bro. Get your life together, man. Get your health and wellness together. Get your fitness together. And you'll see that a lot of times you don't even want a woman as much as you did when you were fat. When you get fit, when you can see your abs, because as Cali Muscle and I agree on, if you can't see your abs, you're not in shape. And when you get in shape, you feel totally different about the women you allow to have access to you. The fourth man on this list who should not deal with women in any kind of way, this man should not deal with women in any capacity today, tomorrow, or the next day, is the down low man. If you know that you spend your time being engaged intimately with men, then you should not be dealing with women unless you give them the option of knowing that this is how you live your life, and you give them the option of saying yay or nay, whether they're going to deal with you or not. But even under these circumstances, I think you should still just avoid women. If you're living that lifestyle, obviously that's the lifestyle you want to live. Live your lifestyle, man. Stop being greedy. Live the lifestyle that gives you the most joy and leave the other lifestyles alone. And the last man on this list who should avoid women, who should avoid fun, who should avoid hanging, who should avoid vacations, who should avoid everything except focusing on how to improve his financial plight, the broke man. If you're a broke man, I don't even understand how you can get aroused. I really don't. I don't understand how looking at your financial plight and being in financial disarray or your financial plight is abysmal or dismal. I just don't understand how you can do it. You know what I'm saying? If my financial plight was dismal and abysmal, it'll make me want some Pepto-Bismol. And that's real talk, man. So if you got some joy from this video, man, or you got some information from this video or found any value at all from it, consider subscribing to the channel, man. When you subscribe, click the notification bell. Make sure your notifications are active so you can know whenever I come through and give up some of this amazing boss game. Y'all put God first and keep grinding and growing, my brothers. Peace. It's the book of Alpha Running Man, homie. Read it or weep.